Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel One Pizza Too Many, and today we are going to be cooking this beautiful piece of salmon. We're doing a hot smoked salmon from fresh in the Lidl mini Landmann Kamado. We're also going to be doing some stir fried noodles with a sweet chili sauce also on the Kamado. So it's all going to be done on the mini Kamado, or if you had a big one you could do it on the big Kamado. So before we go any further, make sure if you like the video, use a thumbs up and like it, you share, you put a comment below, and more importantly you subscribe to the channel. Now let's look at what ingredients we're going to use today, and then we're going to move on to getting the salmon on the Kamado. Star of the show for this particular dish is the salmon. So here we have a nice middle cut piece of salmon from the middle of the fillet. I've descaled it, so taken all the scales off, but I've left the skin on. Then that's going to be smoked like we've just said. Then we've got some sweet chili sauce, we have some vegetable oil, a carrot, red onions, mushrooms, some ready to wok noodles. You can use whatever noodles you like. We have some salt, some pepper, some ginger powder, some garlic powder, and as most of you might know by now from watching my other videos, some crispy onions because I like them. Then equipment that you're going to need is a good set of tongs, a spoon, a knife, a chopping board, a pan that you can put in your Kamado, a waste bowl, and I've got a temperature thermometer here as well for while we're smoking the salmon. So let's move over to the Kamado and let's get the salmon on cooking. First things first, we've had the Kamado lit for around 45 minutes now, and it's holding steady at 150 degrees. So we're going to open the Kamado up. Always burp it just so we don't get any backdraft. Okay. Now I've got the heat deflector in, and I've put the grill raisers in to lift the grill up to the level of the felt, and then we have our beautiful salmon. Now what we're going to do with this first of all is we're going to put some salt, quite a lot, on the skin because we want to draw out the moisture out of the skin. Okay. And then what we're going to do, we're going to lay it flat on the Kamado, skin side down. Okay, like so. Then a little bit more salt on top, not as much, just a little bit, and some pepper. And then into this we are going to put our probe. Okay, so we're going to go in through the side at an angle, sort of into the thickest part, which is the nice bit there of the salmon. That's the belly, and that's the top side, where the fins would be. Okay, then we're just going to close this up, and we're going to switch on the Inkbird. And there we have that, it's reading 22 degrees or 21. There we go. So we're now going to leave this. We want an internal temperature of that salmon now of 72 degrees for it to be cooked nicely. So while we're waiting for the salmon to cook, we're going to move on to preparing the vegetables for the stir fry. Okay, so first thing we are going to do is we're going to peel the carrot with a speed peeler. Always have a bowl for your waste. There we go. It's always good to try and get your waste in the bowl, but I'm always messy. Okay, and then we're going to top and tail the carrot like so. And then with the onions, we are going to take quite a bit off because we're slicing it. Top and tail both onions. And then we're going to cut them in half. And we're going to peel them. Like so. And with the onions you'll see that there's a little bit of root still left in some of them, so we are just going to cut the root out. This will mean that the onion doesn't hold together when we slice it and you end up with nice slices of onion. As you can see, I've gone for the smallest knife I have in the drawer. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to line all the onions up and carefully going to slice them as thin as you can. Then when you get to that bit, just knock it over and slice it a bit more. So this is all done in real time, it's not sped up, so that you can then see how quick you can actually make this dish. Make sure you do secure your board as well with a damp cloth or piece of rubber matting. Okay, so then that's the onion done. Okay. Next we'll get the mushrooms out of the way. So we're going to slice these. So again, just using a rocking action with the knife back and forward, up and down, so it's like a rocking motion. And I'm just guiding my knife with my fingers, obviously being careful not to cut them off while I'm chatting to you guys. It's really important when you're doing this that you keep your little finger and your thumb well tucked behind. Okay, so that's the mushrooms. And now for the carrot, we are going to slice this at an angle, nice and thin. Like so. And then each of these slices, we're going to stack a few up at a time, and we're going to slice them again at another angle, and that gives us a nice effect on the carrot. So we're going to whiz through all of these ones. Don't worry if you have to take your time or it's not too neat. Yeah, we're not in a hurry. And there we go. Carrot done. So you could put in this anything you wanted. You could put some pak choy in it, some broccoli, put some peas, some green beans, some peppers, celery, leek, anything that you wanted could go in this. Okay, and then just give the board a little wipe with a sanitizer wipe. And there we have the veg ready to go. Waiting for the Inkbird thermometer to go off, the alarm to go off. There we go, at 72, to say that the smoked salmon has reached temperature, so it's alerted my phone as well, which I'll put up on the screen next to us now. So dead easy now. So what we do is I just press OK, and it's saying that, so it switches the alarm off, saying that the hot smoked salmon is now 72 degrees. So we'll carefully give it an open up. and I must say that looks incredible. Colour, smokiness. Now, for the wood that you smoke with, some people use chips. I prefer to use sort of chunks. So what I do is I get the lumpwood all lit, then put a chunk of solid wood like some oak. Luckily I've got a friend, Matt Richardson, who runs his own business, Matt Richardson Architectural Woodwork. Go and check him out on Instagram and Facebook. Details are next to us. Some great work. Luckily I get all his offcuts in a bag every now and again, so this bag that he's given me has lasted about 10 months. So Matt, I'm due another bag. Right, so let's get this off the grill. So first things first, we're going to take the thermometer out. Don't be tempted to use your hands like I have done many times, as you'll burn your fingers. Then you'll see over here on the right hand side I've got a plate with some foil on. So I'm hoping that we will be able to just lift this off, because the skin should have protected the fish, which it has nicely, and we can lift that straight off onto the plate. And what we're going to do, fold this up in the tin foil to keep warm and rest a little whilst we do the noodles. So next, what I need to do is to lift off the grill, and what I'm going to do is, if I can, I'm going to lift off my homemade heat deflector. If you like my little setup here with my heat deflector, my grill riser, head over to the video that I made where I showed you how to make your own, and then you'll see. So that's the down there, you can just about see it. That's the piece of oak. So I've only put one little piece of oak in. Just going to move the bits of lumpwood about, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to top this up with just a little bit more lumpwood. Don't worry, you can't go over the top, because like I said in my other videos with the Kamado, you just close it down when you're done and it saves all your residual fuel. I'm then going to put the grill back on without the heat deflector. I'm going to close the lid. I'm going to leave all the vents fully open, top and bottom, to get this really hot. We're now around past 300 degrees on the thermometer on the dome lid, so we're going to open this carefully, and you should see that the embers are now glowing nicely. So we're going to put our cast iron pan on, and I've just put 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in the pan, and I'm just going to move this just a touch closer so you can see what we're doing in the pan. We're going to allow this to warm up and get nice and hot. And then one thing I will say is, what I've done is I've put the salmon in the foil on top of the heat deflector that I took off, and that's going to just keep some residual heat. The wood underneath is really hot as well, so it's going to keep that nice. And then I'm just going to slide this underneath the Kamado. Again, it'll just keep it nice and warm. So we're going to let this pan get warm, and then we're going to start cooking. So the pan's been warming up for a couple of minutes now. You got to remember, cast iron does take quite a while to warm up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drop a piece of onion into the oil, and straight away that's sizzling, so we're ready to go. What we are going to do first of all is we're going to add all the onion, for as much as I can get out of the bowl. And give it a stir around. and then we're just going to add a little bit of salt. And like earlier with the salmon, the point of the salt is it's going to draw any moisture out of the onion, and it will help it cook quicker and soften down. This smells incredible. Something about onions, barbecue, amazing. These are cooked down for a couple of minutes. Then we're going to go in with the carrot and any more onion we can get our hands on. There we go. Don't worry if a few mushrooms fall in, it's not an issue. And then to this, I'm going to add a teaspoon of ginger, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now all the spices that you see, the garlic and the ginger, okay, are from Spice Mountain. Again, details are just next to you on the right, so if you want to head over to their website, have a look at any of their bits. We've got loads of spices. Some I've not got a clue what they are, but I'll be sure to order some and we can have a play around with spices, see what we can make from them. And I'm going to give this another stir around, and we're going to come back to this in another 2 minutes time. So we can just shut the lid a little bit just to try and keep some of the heat in. If I used a smaller pan, obviously, or use the big Kamado, it'd work out a little bit better, but hey, that's what we're going with. Another, say, 2 minutes has passed, maybe 3, and I really wish you were here. This smells amazing. So the mushrooms are going in now. Love mushrooms. So all that veg, big bowl of veg that we had, is now gone in the pan. And again, we're going to give this just another 2 minutes. That's it. 2 minutes have passed, and the mushrooms have started to cook down nicely. And next, we're going to go in with 2 packets of ready-to-wok noodles. You could use soaked egg noodles if you like. You can use ramen noodles, yakisoba noodles, chai soba noodles, any noodles you wanted. You can even use pre-cooked spaghetti if that's what you wanted. The only thing I find with these pre-packet noodles that you get straight to wok compared to like egg noodle nest that you soak is you find that they're quite short, they're not that long. Okay, then in we are going to go with sweet chilli sauce. Now you can put as much or as little as you want of this. I'm going to save a little bit for the end, and I'm just going to add a touch of water, which I didn't put on the ingredient list, but just a touch of water to create some steam and also to stop that sauce sticking. So there's enough here for, I would say, 2 large generous portions, because I am large and generous. And those noodles are looking really good. So, noodles have had another 2 minutes of cooking. They're nice and soft and hot. They're already pre-cooked, so they're really quick to do. So, what we're going to do, we're just going to put some in a bowl. and just a touch more. Okay, so we've got a nice little portion in the bowl, and let's go on over and have a look at the salmon and put some salmon on it. Okay, let's have a look at the salmon. Open this up and look at that, it's still steaming. Beautiful. Then what we're going to do, we're going to cut straight down in half. I'm just going to move the bowl out of the way a little bit. I'm going to lift it up and then hopefully a little bit flatter. My idea is that we can then take it off the skin by pulling to one side, and that leaves the skin intact. We slide the salmon onto a decent sized fish slice, and we then place the salmon on top of the noodles. We're then going to drizzle just a little bit of the sweet chilli sauce on top, a little bit of cracked black pepper, and as you all know, some crispy onions. And there we have it, the finished article plated up. So there we have it, everyone. Sweet chilli salmon with stir fried sweet chilli noodles and vegetables, all done on a Lidl mini Landmann Kamado. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you going to have a go yourself? What fish would you change it for? Would you use fish? Would you not? What sauce would you use? Different oyster sauce maybe? I think that looks a really good dish, all done on the little Kamado. You could do that whilst camping. Overall, dead easy. Taken probably an hour and 20 minutes in total, that's with filming and everything. So if you like it, make sure you do give me a thumbs up and you share, and hit the subscribe bell, this one, to make sure you get notifications of when I release a video. And as always, head over to our Instagram and Facebook page for all the in-between action, and you would have had a little sneak preview that this film was coming up. Until next time, thanks for watching, everyone.
One pizza too many.